Okay, so today is about sacred activism and the environment too. But I'm going to start off with a song that I wrote. I wrote it says 2025, so that's pretty recent. And with all the different protests and marches that we've had, and it brought me back to when I was in 8th grade. I had this memory that my dad, just to me out of the blue, but thinking about it, I understand why he said this to me. And he was an etymologist. He knew different languages and the origin of words, and a very intelligent classical concert violinist. Oh, that's about my dad, Arthur. He says to me, "You are the essence and personification of trouble." And I was like, and for me, I was like, I am? It's like power, right? Power. And then, with all these voting rights things that are going on, and it just came to me to write a song called Good Trouble. And your part goes like this. Good trouble, a good trouble is who and what I am. Let's try that part. A good trouble is who and what I am. And the second part goes, good trouble, it's time to take a stand. Let's try that part. Good trouble, it's time to take a stand from the top. Good trouble is who? Is who and what I am. Yeah, you're getting it. Good trouble, time to take a stand. There are no victims, only volunteers. Put on your thinking cap and your listening ears. Things in the country just ain't right. Time to go to work for a noble fight. Good trouble is who and what I am. Good trouble, it's time to take a stand. Oh, taking a stand is taking command. Taking back our country is the plan. Taking on keeping our democracy in the home of the brave and the land of the free. Good trouble is who and what I am. Good trouble, time to take a stand. Oh, there are no kings in the USA. Power to the people is the way. Vote and volunteer for human rights. See our democracy shine bright. Good trouble is who and what I am. Good trouble, time to take a stand. Oh, yeah. Time to do something and get off your ass. Doing something ain't that big of a task. Visit the Dems at your local trail. Work the phones or write letters to mail. Good trouble is who and what I am. Good trouble. Time to take a stand. Good job, everybody. Yay!
For meditation.
Yes, we're going to have some background. We call it noodling. In music.
So while she plays, while we have some meditation, you're welcome to write in the book of Joy Soul concerns on the back table.
Thank you, everybody. So today, the topic is sacred activism, and I added the environment to it because, hey, we got to take care of our home. Because if we don't have a home, we have nothing. So I wanted to just talk about Earth Day, because in April 22nd, 1970, that brought a lot of attention to the Earth and to the environment. How many people remember that day? I remember I was like a freshman in high school. And what I just found out, though, I didn't realize this. I was pretty young, but maybe you knew this. I don't know this. I didn't know this, that at the time, that date, April 22nd, 1970, the first Earth Day, it was created out of a protest for changes regarding the destruction and exploitation of our environment. And it was the biggest protest in the world at that time. I think they said a couple million people from around the world were mobilized for this. So yeah, it's new for me too. And once that first Earth Day was established, within that same year, the EPA was created, along with the Clean Air Act, leading to the creation of the Clean Water and the Endangered Species Act. So, and Earth Day came out of one person's declaration. We should have an Earth Day. We should have an Earth Day. And, we have a new kind of day, which is called Humanity Day. And it's Humanity Day is towards the middle end of October, and there'll be the 5th one coming up, and I'm actually a global ambassador for IamHumanity.net, and that's why yesterday, it's the third Saturday, there's a big, it's called the Global Monthly Gathering, and it's a big Zoom meeting, and there's people from all over the planet on it, and anyway, yes, of course, we are the world, yeah. No, that was in the 80s. I remember that. I have memories around that. So I remember the 80s, early 80s. So, and what I noticed was, I said, hey, did they plan, because we talk about Earth Day, how it started as a declaration in one person, and that's how this Humanity Day has come along. And I said, did they plan it like halfway around the calendar? So it wouldn't be too close to Earth Day. And they said, yeah, they did. I said, oh, so Humanity Day is Earth Day's half birthday. So just to put a little joy there. So I wanted to talk about some definitions of sacred activism. So there's option 1. It's classic and concise. Sacred activism weaves compassion, conscious, and deep listening into the work of justice and care for the world. It asks us to act boldly while staying rooted in humility and our shared humanity. Okay. Option 2 is more community-centered. Sacred activism is the practice of aligning our values with meaningful action for justice, peace, and the earth. It honors both inner integrity and outward engagement, reminding us that how we act matters as much as what we seek to change. Because when you're acting like you're pushing against and you're getting defensive and you're getting offensive, you get the opposite. You get more of what you don't want. But if you can do it in a way that's loving and at least not rude, this is for me too. Oh, don't be rude anymore. Okay. So now the option 3 is poetic and grounded. Sacred activism brings reverence and responsibility into public life, transforming care into action. It invites us to work for change in ways that heal rather than divide. Wouldn't that be nice to have more healing and less division? That we can keep that as an intention. And so I want to go back to the first definition where it states it asks us to act boldly while staying rooted in love, humility, and our shared humanity. And acting boldly takes courage. And this brings back to me a defining memory from a movie called Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and from 1980. So how many remember that? So Luke Skywalker, right? Luke Skywalker's in training to learn from Master Yoda. And there's an iconic scene, and I never forgot this iconic scene where Luke says to Yoda, "I'm not afraid." And Yoda looks at him in his wise and slightly foreboding way. He says with a very serious look on his face, he says, "You will be." Yeah. So, remember that? So there's the sacred act of courage, which in a nutshell, it's like feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And that's, somebody wrote a book called that. It's like you don't even have to read the book. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And so I have a song called When I Am Courageous, and I want to teach you the chorus. You did great. We have a quality crowd here. I appreciate every single one. Well, I always do anyway, but it's a special group here. And so the words are, when I am courageous, it could be outrageous to feel the fear and do it anyhow. And then the second part is, when I am courageous, it could be contagious for others to feel the fear and do it anyhow. We get inspired by other people's courage. So it goes like this. When I am courageous, it could be outrageous to feel the fear and do it anyhow. Let's try that. When I am courageous, it could be outrageous to feel the fear and do it anyhow. Now the second part. When I am courageous, it could be contagious for others to feel the fear and do it anyhow. So we're going to do the whole thing. When I am courageous, it could be outrageous to feel the fear and do it anyhow. When I am courageous, it could be contagious for others to feel the fear and do it anyhow. Courage is an act of bravery. It frees us from the slavery of living small. Courage is the voice of spirit. Open up to hear it, then answer the call. What's the call? When I am courageous, it could be outrageous to feel the fear and do it anyhow. When I am courageous, it could be contagious for others to feel the fear and do it anyhow. Courage is an act of bravery. It frees us from the slavery of living small. Courage is the voice of spirit. Open up to hear it, then answer the call. Listen, 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 listen. Open up to hear it, then answer the call. Listen, 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 listen. Open up to hear it and answer the call. One more. When I am courageous, it could be outrageous to feel the fear and do it anyhow. When I am courageous, it could be contagious for others to feel the fear and do it anyhow. For others to feel the fear and do it anyhow. To feel the fear and do it anyhow. The time, when's the time? Is now. And so it is. All right, so I love that I can do this sort of a unique way of delivering a message, with music. And I think, and then you sing it, and then you get to embody that. And like maybe later today you'll be going, well, I am yeah, you'll be. But that's a way to embody the information. I just love that. So I wanted to talk about something called the passion test. I may have mentioned it one time or another, but if I don't remember, you probably don't either. So in 2008, I became a certified passion test facilitator. And it's a 3-hour program, but it was too much talking for me. So I just decided I don't really do it anymore. But what I'll do is I will give it to you in a nutshell. And then there's a process that you could do at some point, but not today. So there are 2 principles to the passion test. The first one is clarity, which is There's the promise. When you are clear, what you want appears in your life, and only to the extent that you're clear. So, if you have, I think I might want him, and you might get it, or you might get something worse, or better. But when you're clear, then I like to put, when I have a clear intention, that or something better, because we don't want to limit source, right, about that. And so there's the promise is clarity, and then there's a creation process. So you're clear. You have a clear idea of what it is. So you set a clear intention, and it's, I think intention is kind of like the word hope, but on steroids. Like they're saying now, hope is so important. And if somebody only has hope, we don't want to take that away from them. But if somebody has hope, and then you say, well, do you have an intention for that? Because then you're telling the universe, I want this or something better, not limiting source. So this is a 3-part creation process. So the first part is we set a clear intention. So we have intention. And then we use the law of attraction to put our attention on our intention, right? And which means what you focus on. What you focus on gets bigger, whether you like it or not. It gets bigger, And, you're focusing on pushing against something, that gets bigger. You say no to something, you invite the vibration in. So we get clear and we focus on that. And, I'm a pretty good manifester. But for me, it's like, yeah, man. And it's like, well, I want that. I want that. I want that. So here's the missing part that actually changed my life. Intention, attention with no tension. Right? Because as soon as you tighten up, what happens? The flow stops, really. The flow stops. So I love that idea. Intention, attention with no tension. And the thing is, if you're just in the flow and you can have intention and you can put your attention and things are coming, but as soon as that tension shows up, that is the main idea that shows us, that's the evidence that we're not trusting what is in the moment. And that's our ego. We're not trusting what source, God, goddess, whatever you want to call, higher power, infinite wisdom. We're not trusting that. And so it's that ego, right? It's ego-driven, edging God out. But you cannot be a human being and not have an ego. It's fine to have an ego, but when you notice that your ego is forcing, I'm good at making shit happen, making things happen. I'm good at that. But noticing when I'm not in the flow and I'm trying to do that, it doesn't work. And it's a really good idea to have that within us. I'm noticing, I'm going to just have to be okay without it. And maybe an undelivered promise or an unanswered prayer is the best thing. How many people here have had an unanswered, I want this, I wanted it for so long, and it doesn't come because you're giving longing at the universe. Going, yes, you're right, you do want it, you want that, yes. It's so, I'll tell you a little story. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I wanted nothing more. I wanted to be a cheerleader, right? I really did. And I knew that I was good enough. I wasn't going to be the best one, but I was good enough, and I had the spirit to do it. And I tried out in 8th grade, and I didn't make it. And it was very shaming to me. I just acted like it didn't matter, so I didn't tell anybody. That's how it's shame. You don't talk about it. And then years later, in the early 80s, I was singing in a lot of bars and just like overdoing it with my voice. And I was prescribed voice therapy. So I went for voice therapy, and it really helped. But when I went to fill out the questionnaire, your name, your address, your insurance, your this, your that, first question, were you ever a cheerleader? Thank you. Because Spirit had other ideas for my work. And then I told my friend Madeline about this before I had the problem with my voice, and she goes, and I was crying about it. She goes, Elaine, you are a cheerleader, which I am. I'm a cheerleader. So I have a song called "On the Passionate Ride," and to remember, on the passionate ride. So we're going on the passionate ride, everybody. And remember, what is that create? Well, first of all, we have clarity. What you want when you're clear will show up in your life or shows up in your life. And only to the extent that you're clear. And then the creation process, what is it? Intention. Attention. Okay, so remember that because you're going to be tested in the song. So it goes like this. You catch more flies with honey when you match the infinite vibe. And there are gifts worth more than money. It's a passionate kind of ride. Ooh, on the passionate ride. We're going on the passionate ride. Life can be real funny. It can take your breath away. And just like flies, like honey, we're moving in a passionate way. Ooh, in a passionate way. We're moving in a passionate way. Now here's the bridge. It goes like this. Help me. I am focused on intention. Giving them my full, what? My full what? Attention, right. Releasing any tension. That tension goes. Tension. Now you know when you focus on intention, you're giving them your full attention. Releasing any tension. You're going with the flow. You're going with the flow. You're going with the flow. One more of those. You're going with the flow. 'Cause you catch more flies with honey. And gratitude greases the wheel. It's a gift worth more than money when we honor how we feel. Ooh, when we honor how we feel. When I honor how I feel. When you honor how you feel. When we honor how we feel. We're going to do the bridge one more time. I am focused on it. Giving them my full. Releasing any tension. When I focus on it, I'm giving them my full. Releasing any tension. I'm going with the flow. Sing it with me. I'm going with the flow. I'm going with the flow. I'm going with the flow. One more time. I'm going with the flow. In the flow. All right, good job. I love it. Yeah. Now, let me see. We're going to move on to something about our joy. And I'm hearing that the most important action we can take is to stay joyous and hopeful, or that hopeful can move into intentions. Now that you know, you got clarity. So I'm going to be a little divisive here, but we cannot allow them to steal our joy, right? Right. We have to come back to it because it raises our vibratory rate, it raises the frequency, and then if we're clear on what we want more joy, we want more love, we want peace on earth, we want all that beautiful stuff. It's coming. We attract more of it. And it starts here. It starts here. If we lose joy and hope, we may go down the rabbit hole of despair, and that can lead to immobilization, right? We all know about that one. It's important not to become inundated with the news. And I was telling Wolf about a couple years ago, I noticed I was just angry a lot. And because I was really paying it. Oh, let me hear one more thing. What is he doing now? And I noticed I was attracting things that I did not want, like big stuff I didn't want. And I decided that I'm going to focus more on things that feel good. So I stopped watching those podcasts and listening, and I started to watch on my YouTube Sitting with Dogs. Does anybody ever see that with Rocky? Is this guy from Hawaii? He's in California. He goes to the shelters and he sits with the dogs that appear to be not as adoptable because they're shaking, they're scared, they're immobilized, they're just their head is pushing against the wall, they're trying to get as little as possible. They're not happy doggies. And he makes friends with the dogs, and I've learned a lot about that. Gives them treats, if they can sniff, they can't be in fear. It's like they can't do those two things. And so he gets them to, and then when they start to sniff him, that's even better. But he'll give them the treats. Then I found Caesar, the dog whisperer. And I would just, if I was going to relax, and normally I would have gone on watching all this political stuff, I would just watch Caesar. And then I found Lee Asher, and he has the dog sanctuary. He has 240 acres, and he has hundreds. He's saved over 800 dogs and gets them adopted, or a lot of them he keeps. So a few hundred dogs over there. It's really cool. So there's a group of teachers called Abraham Hicks. Anybody familiar with? I know you are. No, not familiar. Well, they teach the law of attraction. That movie, The Secret, remember that movie from about 20 years ago? That movie was really it started as a TV series that was going to be in Australia, all around Abraham Hicks, this woman that channels this group of teachers called Abraham. Now, when I first heard about it, I was like, no, I'm not really into that kind of thing, because I was really into the science of mind. And so it's okay, I don't discount it, but it just didn't resonate with me. But it kept showing up. It kept pushing against her. It kept showing up. I kept seeing it in a magazine. And then I saw that there was an Abraham group just a few blocks from my house that met like once or twice a month or something, and they lent out it was cassettes back then. No, we still had cassettes, and they had CDs. And I just really started listening to it. And then I saw them it's her, but we say them, a few times. And for years I was on the CD of the month membership. So I'd get a CD of her. First she says, hello. She comes out as a hello, goodbye. And then she goes, it's a really neat thing. And then she would talk for a while. And then anybody that had a question would come up front and sit in the hot seat with a microphone and ask questions. And I've heard everything from money to career to relationship to Alzheimer's disease to Bigfoot to sexual predators. I mean, everything. And any question that they were asked, the answers resonated with me. So it really helped. And so one of the things that she talked about that I think goes along with not letting them or us allow that to steal our joy and our love and our light. And she calls it, what is itis? What is itis? So, yeah, but it's true. Well, just because it's true doesn't mean we have to focus on it, right? That resonate with anybody? What is itis? So I wrote this song called The Joy of Being. I have a program called The Joy of Being too, but I wanted to put this in because I really want us to stay. What is it? Say that to me. Oh, it does? Oh, thank you. Itis means inflammation of what's so. Okay, well, we don't have to inflame it. We can just, okay, thank you for sharing. I'm going to be joyful now. So, the first, there's just two verses, but there's the chorus. And I actually stole this from another song I wrote. And the chorus goes, let's see. When I feel joy, the world's more joyful. Try that part. When I feel joy, the world's more joyful. When When I feel peace, the world's more peaceful. When I feel love, the world's more loving. 'Cause I make the choice. Yes, I make. We're always at choice, whether we like it or not, or think we are or not. I couldn't help it. I know, but you really could have. I could have. I could have helped it. I could have been more aware. Okay. The joy of being's how I live my life. Joie de vivre is when I'm feeling my light. And I make a choice. When I tune into that still small voice. And I make a choice. When I listen to that still small voice. And here's our part. When I feel joy. When I feel joy, the world's more joyful. When I feel peace, the world's more peaceful. When I feel love, the world's more loving. 'Cause I make a choice. Yes, I make a choice. What is itis can steal my light. Choosing what I'm thinking can help put things all right. 'Cause I, come on, make the choice. When I listen, when I tune in. When I tune into that still small voice. And I make the choice. When I listen to that still small voice. When I feel joy, the world's more joyful. When I feel peace, the world's more peaceful. When I feel love, the world's more loving. 'Cause I make a choice. Yes, I make a choice. When I tune into that still small voice. I make a choice. And so it is. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to the idea of worry versus concern. You know, anybody know that distinction? Worry is like praying for what you don't want. You're visualizing, oh, what if they get in a car accident? What if and worry can bring our attention to something to maybe have a concern about. But the worry is like just visualizing what you don't want. And the concern is more solution oriented. You know, so like you're having concerns about, you know, a friend driving. Well, can I go with, you know, that could be find a solution to that concern. Move into positive solutions, such as working with local groups who are working for change versus fighting against something we disagree with. So, and I don't like that word fight. You know, we're fighting for, how about we're working towards, we're working for. I don't want to be against anything. That doesn't mean I'm not, but I want to be for a world that works, not against something that shows up where the world doesn't work. I want my intention, a world that works for all. And for I Am Humanity, the vision is the flourishing of humanity for millennia to come. It's so beautiful. And let me know, and I will get you some information. Or just go to iamhumanity.net. Can you remember that? iamhumanity.net. And you go right to the landing page. Boom. And then you can see how you can come to a weekly meeting if you want on Zoom, or the monthly global gathering, or it talks about Humanity Day. And we're looking for people to have watch parties, because that Humanity Day, it's a 5-hour program. It's going to be all over the globe. And it's for, it's virtual. And so it'll be all pre-recorded. Not all of it, but like the different speeches and the different music and dance and just beautiful things. And each hour has a different theme. Like one is the environment, one is the arts, one is whatever they are. And it's just very beautiful. So So instead of fighting against something we disagree with, we can work towards, we can do it with empathy and compassion. And so I have this song that I made, and it's called Feel Into Your Heart. So I'm going to invite you to put your hand on your heart so you can feel into your heart, which I just found out the heart has a brain of its own, which I sort of knew it, but so does the gut. Gut feeling. It's got its own intelligence, let's call it. So it goes like this. Have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through humanity, when we feel into the heart. Now is the time for the changes to be made, right from wherever we are. What we hold in mind comes about in kind when we feel into the sacred heart. Have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our humanity reaches through divinity, when we feel into the heart. The heart knows the way, it's the truth and the light. It's our guiding star deep within. The mind tells us what, the heart gives us why. No better time than now to begin to have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our humanity reaches through divinity, when we feel into the heart. When we feel into the heart. When we feel into the sacred heart. So it is. Okay, so I have closing words and another song for the earth. So it's, and so as we go forth, may we carry the spirit of sacred activism into our daily lives, turning our compassion into clear action, and our love into lasting change for ourselves and Mother Earth. So we'll just do a little bit of this. This is called Touch the Earth. And the part goes like this. I know this by heart. I learned this in the 80s, and I wrote a verse for it. It was sitting in like a health food restaurant at Santa Cruz, California, 1988, and there was this, I could tell, the table next to us, they were musicians, and we started talking, and they were environmentalists and musicians, and they were called the Banana Slug String Band, and they would go around to all these parks and do their programs. And so in 1988, we traded cassettes. So that cassette had this song, and I've been singing it ever since. And it was so long ago, I thought I wrote the song. Because when I went to record it, I had to come clean. No, I didn't write that. That was a Banana Slug String Band. I had to get permission and pay them a royalty. Touch the earth, touch the earth. Touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth. Now this next part, we sing together, and it goes, speak of love, walk on common ground. You'll get it. Touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth, touch together now, speak of love. Walk on common ground, you got it. In every living thing, there's a heartbeat sounding, in trees that are reaching, in oceans that are pounding. In every living thing, there's a life force burning, in living waters flowing, in wind and now a turning. Here we go. Touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth, speak of love, walk on common ground. In every living thing, every other thing is found. Life goes on to life, we all walk on common ground. It's one I wrote. Peace begins within, peace it gently sings, as we choose to find the pure light within each living thing. It starts with us. Touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth, touch the earth, speak of love, walk on common ground. Touch the earth, 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 speak of love, walk on common ground. Speak of love, walk on common ground. Speak of love, walk on common ground. So it is. So I think we have a collection, is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
While we give of our tithes and offerings, Elaine will play another beautiful tune. Today is my peaceful day.
Yes, and I learned this. I went to see one of the monks who came to our center for spiritual living in Sarasota. He lives in Florida. His name is Monk Son. He went up to Virginia and walked part of the walk with the monks, right? And so it was so cool. And he came and he did a talk on loving kindness and gave us this beautiful mantra, which is, he said, today is going to be my peaceful day, or today will be, but I made it in the now present moment. Today is my peaceful day. And it's really made a difference for me in the morning. I'll just remember that. It goes like this. And that line, today is my peaceful day, repeats a bunch of times. Today is my peaceful day. Today is my peaceful day. I remember when I start to pray. These are the words I say. What are the words? Today is my peaceful day. I walk for and speak of peace. What no longer serves I release. A magical way to pray. Here we are. Today is my peaceful day. Now we're going to do some Om Shanti. Om is the universal sound of creation, and Shanti means peace. Both of those are Sanskrit words, like this. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Let's try that part again. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. I'm grateful this peaceful day. Gratitude is the way for keeping my doubts at bay. Today is my peaceful day. I walk for and speak of peace. What no longer serves I release. It's a magical way to pray. Today is my peaceful day. We're going to do the Om Shantis again. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Today is my peaceful day. I remember when I start to pray. These are the words I say. Today is my peaceful day. These are the words I pray. What are they? Today is my peaceful day. And so it is. Blessed be. Okay.
And what is given in love is received with gratitude. May this church be worthy of all your gifts.
And we got
Benediction. Ready?
is it that song? Is that what we're doing, the song? Or am I doing a benediction? I'm happy to. I will do a benediction. We have gathered this morning. I didn't know it was. It's okay. Perfect. We gathered this morning in peace and love and joy and clear intentions and attention, no tension. And the joy of being and noticing when we're into the what is itis. And I'm grateful to be here, and I can't wait to come back. I'm coming back the end of June. So hopefully I'll see everybody. And bring all your friends. And we're going to have a unique way of having a service through song. So I'm grateful, and I release my word to the law, knowing that this is a done deal, and so it is. Blessed be.
Elaine, thank you so much. Beautiful voice, beautiful music.
Thank you.
I'm just fascinated with your playing. It's gorgeous.
Are we going to do May Love Surround You? What are we going to do? Okay, because I learned it.
We have a few things to do first.
First. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I guess I didn't get the entire order of
We
service.
need to
That's okay.
extinguish our chalice.
Oh, of course. I apologize.
We extinguish this chalice without the light of truth, the warmth of commitment, the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
All right. Yeah,
All
I
right.
have 2 orders of service here.
And we have a closing song.
All right, so let's see. Is this? May love surround you with warm, gentle arms. May love surround you and keep you from harm. And may you always continue to grow. May you find happiness wherever you go. And one more time. May love surround you with warm, gentle arms. May love surround you and keep you from harm. And may you always continue to grow. May you find happiness wherever you go. Blessed be. And if you can, stop by my table. I got here early and I got organized because the table puts gas in my car. So